It's an old-school NFC North rivalry when the Chicago Bears host the Minnesota Vikings on Sunday. Chicago a 6.5-point favorite on BETDAQ, 42 the total in this game. The Bears with an impressive season-opening win last week against the Cincinnati Bengals, who are expected to be one of the best teams in the AFC. The most impressive thing about the Bears' performance was the play of their offensive line. 0 sacks allowed. If you've seen the Bears play over the last few years, you know how incredible that is. This has been a terrible offensive line ever since anyone can remember in Chicago. 4 new starters this year, and they really did a nice job against one of the best defensive fronts in the league in Cincinnati. Now, a lot of it was offensive line play. Some of it was scheme, no doubt about it. Mark Trestman, in his first year as head coach in Chicago, coming from the Canadian Football League after spending many years in the NFL as an offensive assistant. Trestman favors a West Coast-style offense, short passing. He wants to get the ball out of Jay Cutler's hands quickly. Worked very well against a very tough defense in Week 1. If the Bears can protect Cutler this year, look out, because there's some weapons on this offense. Brandon Marshall, a legit number 1 wide receiver. I really like young Alshon Jeffrey on the other side. They picked up Martellus Bennett this year, excellent pass-catching tight end. Matt Forte, very versatile running back, one of the best 8 or 10 running backs in the NFL. So the Bears have some pieces, and like I said, if they can protect Cutler, they might be able to really get this offense rolling this season. They're going to have an opportunity on Sunday because they are facing a bad defense. The Minnesota Vikings were bad on defense last year, especially in the secondary, and last week in a loss to Detroit, they allowed 469 total yards. So this is a mismatch here, in my opinion. The only thing the Vikings have going for them is the presence of Adrian Peterson, maybe the best running back in the entire NFL. Peterson gashed the Bears defense for 262 yards in the 2 games he faced them last year. However, never fear, that's balanced out by the presence of Christian Ponder. Christian Ponder, one of the worst starting quarterbacks in the NFL, the clear weak link on this Minnesota team. 3 interceptions and a fumble loss last week against Detroit. And this Bears defense last year specialized in forcing turnovers. So really like the Bears here at home. I think their offense is going to have no trouble moving the ball against Minnesota. And don't be surprised if that defense forces Christian Ponder into a couple of turnovers. I think the Bears are going to cover the 6.5 here comfortably.